Good morning, it's me. I'm back. I'm Stephanie Flath, Stampin' Up demonstrator, and I'm coming to you live again Wednesday morning, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. I was gone last week. I was on Stampin' Up's incentive trip to Mexico. We had an all-inclusive resort in Mexico that was amazing. And before I go any further, I have to give a disclaimer that less than 1% of all demonstrators earn that trip each year. And I'm so very thankful that I was one of them. It was an amazing, amazing trip. But I missed being with you guys. My computer's being weird. It's not coming up so that I can refresh it. And I don't see people yet. So give me a minute here. So, yeah, it's just frozen. So I go live every Wednesday morning, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time, on my Facebook business page. It is facebook.com/Dazzled by Stamping. Or you can find me any other time for ideas and placing orders and seeing class schedules and that sort of thing, on my website at dazzledbystamping.com. So, my computer is just being weird, and I only have one person coming up so far. Hi, Carrie. Thank you so much. I need to see something a second. Cancel that. Go there. Okay, there we go. Done there. I missed you guys, but I had an awesome time. It was so great. All right, let's just refresh now. Now I have it on the correct page, so we should be good that way. Sorry for the delay. A second. Okay, I can see comments now. Good morning, Sandy. You flew home last night, so you've been here in Grand Rapids all this time with your family? How was your flight? We had no problems, well, very minimal problems with flights this time. I don't know if you remember last time when I went to Houston, it was a whole thing. It was everything that, I gotcha. Hi, Dina. Thank you so much. So Sandy, were you able to get a spot to do the glass blowing? Wasn't this when you were going to do that? I know you're on a waiting list, but I didn't hear if you were able to get that. Thank you for sharing, Dina. So it was kind of funny. I'm just going to chat for a little bit before more people are on. Hi, Janet. So we had really good flights, except for at the end, we had to split in Denver. We were thankful that we went through Denver. We heard O'Hare customs was really long, and we had like no problems. Oh, that's a bummer. Is anybody else having a freezing problem? So we had no problems through customs. We were really quick. We were asked a couple questions, and that's it. And it was a long line, but it went fast. But anyway, we had to separate in Denver. Liz had one flight home. Oh, that's too bad, Sandy. I did know of one customer who was able to do it. Hi, Marcia. Thank you. Hi, Marlene. I did know of one person who was able to do it. In fact, she was told she was the first one that replied to one-time freeze. All right. Well, hopefully, hi, Jamie. Hopefully that's all. I'm peeling today. I've been very tender. Now I'm tender and itchy. I have peeling on the back here, on the front right here. So anyway, we had to separate from Liz, and she was on a different flight, and she was supposed to leave like an hour before us, and we when we're like stored at our gate and sort of ready, she's like, yeah, I still haven't left yet. I'm like, oh, I thought you'd be in the air by now. And she's like, me too. Well, it turns out, make a long story short, Liz and I were texting back and forth. We were already on our plane. And since we weren't off the ground, I didn't put it in airplane mode yet. And so I was still texting. Actually, we could text even when I was in the air because we had United Wi-Fi. But we're heading out to our runway, and I said, hey, are you literally in the middle of nowhere? Because I think we're passing you right now. And she's like, LOL, yeah, that's me. And took a picture of me. I'm like, okay, yeah, we're next to go off the, we're next on the runway. We're right on the, the wide lines or whatever. Hi, Nancy. And I'm like, I'm waving because I knew she was on this side of the plane. I was on that side of the plane. Anyway, so we waved, or I waved to her, and we saw each other out on the tarmac. It was kind of funny. And then she was up maybe within a half hour or something like that. So good morning, Marcia. I'm glad that you're here. Thank you so much. So, anyway, everybody was home around the same time, sort of, and she unfortunately just had 4 flights of stairs. She lives on the 3rd floor, but it's considered the 3rd floor, but truly it's the 4th. Like, unless you're in Europe, it's the 4th floor. So she had to drag all her bags up 4 flights of stairs, and they're big steep ones. We're like, right about now you need a bellhop to give a few dollars to pull your bags up. Oh my goodness, I felt bad for her. But anyway, so we were all home safe. All right, so I'm gonna stop for a second, and I'm gonna do my randomizer. So I have 3 cards to give away because there were 2 that I made with you the last time I was live, and then I also made one more that was my swap that I took to Mexico. So I pre-did a video before I left. So I have 3 cards for you. So I'm gonna jump over. Thank you, Jennifer. I did have a wonderful trip. I barely even started talking about it yet. Excuse me. I just told you about Liz's flight problem. Okay, I'm on my randomizer. I'm all set up. I'm starting. Excuse me. Terri Kosten. I don't think she's on yet. Terri Kosten is my first winner. Congratulations. I'm going to pick another winner and start. Janet Bignall. Yay. Congratulations. I know she's on. I remembered. Sometimes, this is silly, but sometimes I just don't remember that I've already said hi to you. It's crazy. My mind just goes nuts. And Marcia Hill, congratulations. Okay, so I have my 3 winners. I'm done here. And okay, so we had an amazing trip. It was so much fun to spend time with our kids. We've not been able to spend time with them in a long time, like all together, and just, we had breakfast together most mornings and dinner together at night. And there were there was one dinner place that we went to 2 times. It was amazing. It was it was funny. Every time we started trying to tell people about it, they're like, oh, like a Brazilian steakhouse. We're like, yeah, I guess so. I had seen that somewhere, but I didn't realize that was the definition. So we had amazing food at these places. For some reason, I thought you said you would be home today, but not doing the live. I'm here. So they had a fresh pasta bar that they well, they par cooked the pasta and then they made sauce and whatever, and that was delicious. And we got that both times because it was just too good. But we were telling everybody that went there, like, don't bother with the rest of the food because they bring you out tons of food. So Todd actually made a list because he was planning to help me blog, but I barely blogged about it last night to post for you today. I mostly just did a bunch of pictures. Hi, Dot. Thanks for joining me. So we started, so they come with a what do you call it? I keep calling it a skewer, but it's so much more than a skewer. It's like, I can't even make it as wide. My camera won't show. It's a big skewer, like this long, and had this little, like, thing with a divot, a cutting board with a divot in it, so you could put the skewer into the spot and hold on to it and then shave what you wanted, and you had to grab the piece that you wanted that he was slicing off. So first he brought skirt steak and then top sirloin, which in my opinion was like prime rib. It was amazing. And garlic rolls and another kind of beef and barbecue ribs and chicken and pork with pineapple and then just pineapple. That was really good. It was amazing. We ended up going there twice. It was so good. So delicious. So I have to tell you, I have to show you my gifts. I'm so excited to show you my gifts. Okay, so what Stampin' Up! Did this year, oh man, we were so full when we left. It was ridiculous. And so there's a thing in the middle of the table that there were 6 sides. 3 of them were red, 3 of them were green. And if you wanted them to keep coming with samples, they would just keep coming if you had it on green. And if you're done, you turn it over to... That's what I kept wanting to call a spit. But I thought the spit was like the pit that was put in. I don't know. I have no idea. You could be right. And I honestly, I don't know. So when we first got to the hotel, we were taken to a ballroom, and that's where we did our, where we checked in. And then once we checked into our hotel, to the resort, to our room, we got a wristband that was our key for everything. That was for working. You could take pictures throughout the resort, and Stampin' Up! Gave us that as one of our pillow gifts. And then they had us walk around a meat spool. I don't know. But Stampin' Up! Had us walk around and choose our gifts. They called it the gifting experience or gifting room, one or the other. So this is the bag that I chose. There were 4 different options. 2 of them were really colorful like this. 2 of them were a little more toned down, but I love this. So I guess it's plastic, but it's hand woven. And like all of these gifts that we have, they were handmade by local people from the community. So I got this. There's a Stampin' Up! Tag on it. Then our next thing that we got to choose was something to hang from it. I think part of it was to identify your bag. But also, I know I love the colors too. But also I saw somebody's that had more of it was more like our new basic beige or something like that. And then they had a really colorful one of these on it, and it looked really sharp too. So we got to choose 2 of these, and I let Liz pick one out. She got one that was a cactus that had these fringy things on it. So then the next thing was... I had to ask what these were because I had no idea. Oh, no, not the next thing. Just a sec, I gotta find the next thing. The next thing, what I got in the picture that I posted, so we got to go up and, I would hang it in my car. Yeah, that's a cool place. Liz got to choose one. It was really cute. And it's what I would have chosen for her, but she actually chose it, so I was right. She can hang it from her car. We got to go and pick one of these, and it was our spirit animal. So this is what I got. So elephant, if you can't tell it. But again, everything is hand painted. It's crazy the work that they did on this. So Shelly actually opened my little bag. We were yeah, I figured out what you're talking about, Dot. So I walked to her, and I'm, just standing in front of her in awe, of course, because she's amazing. And yes, I think it's wood. Yeah. And I was standing in awe. She's like, what did you get? I'm like, I don't know yet. I didn't open it. I feel like I broke my tail. Look, I broke my tail. I think. I don't know. Anyway, so she's like, well, let's see what it is. So she opened my bag. Cracked me up. Okay, so then after we took a picture with her, then we went and got these things. And I did not know what these things were until I asked. So we got these, I'll call them travel packs. I'm not sure if that's the technical name for it. So this is the medium one. We got to choose 3. They were in all these colors, and you could choose which size you wanted and which colors. Here's the large one. And then I'm smelling the resort right now. I don't know what that smell is. I don't know if it's a soap or what. And here's a small one. Packing cubes, yes. But I had to ask what they were. I'm like, what are they for? So we got these, and they all have, I love branded stuff. I'll have the Stampin' Up name on them and the zipper and whatever. Okay, and I think besides the bag, oh, sorry, there's this. So this is a fan. We got to pick our color of fan. So I forgot to tell you the one, the hanging, what did we call that? The tassel. I had to look at Dot's comment to remember. The tassel, they were sitting there making them while, they had a whole bunch of them hung up, but they were sitting there making them while we were going around looking. So yeah, so we have a fan. This is like straw type. This one isn't plastic like the bag is. The pattern on the first one is really nice. Did you mean the stripes? I think that's the first one I showed, but I don't know if that's what you mean by the first one. Okay. So then I let Tyler pick this color out because Liz got to actually keep one of the tassel things. So this is another thing. So this is a frame that we got. So I'm planning to put a family picture in there. So you can slide it in right there. So again, this is the porcelain or ceramic, whatever you want to call it. Mahita. I think that might be the person's name that made it. I don't know. It doesn't say Mexico, I don't think. So anyway, they made the ceramic and they painted this. So they ended up making about 350 of them, I think. That's around how many people who earned the trip. And it took them, I think they said that the guy that I talked with that was showing us, there were like 20 people that were working on them, I think, and it took them a month. Cool, right? I love this. Okay. Then there's one more thing that we got that I want to show you, but I feel like I want to show you when I have my, yes, very nice keepsake. The last thing that I want to show you, I want to do it while I have my camera down, so I'm going to wait for that. I need to put this in a safe place. Oh, one more thing. Okay, so this is not from Stampin' Up. This is from, so we were completely spoiled. All of the staff was so amazing and helpful and everything. And every night we got a nightly turn down and a gift. And every night the gift was a cute little basket, a handmade basket with, this one doesn't have any, but with some chocolates in it, or candies, I should say. They aren't all chocolates. So here's one. I think this is the first one that we got. I actually put, do you remember that when we go on these trips, we always choose an ornament? I don't want to take it out of here because it's protected right now. But we chose a hand-painted ornament too. It doesn't say Mexico on it. It's not painted on there that I can see. But anyway, so we found an ornament in the gift shop. We struggled to find it. And then, of course, when we're leaving, we're in the Cancun airport, we see a whole bunch of them in the airport at one of the shops. And then here's another one. So I gave one of mine to Liz because she was wanting to collect them like I was. I know, aren't they so cute? We got one every night with turn down. So Liz was disappointed because, first of all, Tyler wanted one, so she didn't get all of them. They were in a separate room. Secondly, on the last night, it was weird. They came at all different times. They came as early as, like, we got back from, we hadn't even gone to dinner yet. It was like 3:30 or 4 or something like that. I don't know. Here's all of them that I have. They came as early as like around 4 or something. And then the last night when we were trying to get to bed at a good time because we had to get up so early to get to our flight, they came at like 9:30 and we didn't have, I was still up. I was about to get in bed, but I was still up and they had doorbells on the rooms. And so I went to the door, so I got my basket. Well, Tyler and Liz had Tyler had put on, there's a button you could push for no housekeeping. He had put that on, so she was disappointed she didn't get the last one. So I gave her my last one, so it was the cutest one. She called it a mushroom. So anyway, that was, those were gifts from the hotel. So, let's see. I'm trying to think what else. So we had an amazing time. We spent a lot of time in the pool. Oh, one of the cool things that we did too was, so as part of the resort, the resort was humongous, and it had like, I'll say up to 10, maybe it was more like 7 parks that most of them were included with your stay. You just had to make a reservation because they needed to know how many buses they needed, or if they had room on the bus or needed another bus or whatever. And they were using like Greyhound bus type things. Anyway, so Tyler didn't end up coming with us on this one because his first day of sun was too much and he couldn't take it and he needed to rest that day. So he tried to stay out of the sun and he slept in and whatever. Well, he did come down for breakfast, but we went to one where we did, this was not an included activity, but we did what's called Sea Trek. I don't know if that's a name used for all of this or if it's just what they called it, but it's the one where you wear a helmet and you can go down and like snorkel without snorkeling. So I actually could wear my glasses. They put this big heavy helmet on you and I wasn't sure about it at first. Once it was on, I was like, oh, I don't know if I can do this. I was like a little claustrophobic and like I have asthma and it sort of made me feel like I'm not sure I can breathe. And then after a few seconds, it just sort of regulated and it was fine. So we could go underwater and the water just came up to here. And if you bent down, then like it would go up. So you just had to keep your head up. But we walked around it was in the lagoon there, and we walked around and we could hold on to a railing that they made. There was divers under there to make sure that you were safe, and they'd walk you over and put your hand on the railing so that you could get there, and it was cool. We have pictures of that too. We have a video of that. The video is kind of weird, but anyway. Liz is cute all over the place. She's like, saw I had no peripheral vision. And so if you just happen to see him from this way, then like you could turn and whatever. But she she waved or gave a peace sign or whatever every time. She saw him every time, I think. Anyway, it was fun. We have pictures. I'll show them later. I haven't gotten to that part. Let's see, what else was a really cool thing we did? Of course, Todd went on Explorers. He's how we have any sunrise pictures. So it was really, really cool. And we had so much fun. It was so good. So the day, the day we went to, the park, mostly we stayed at the resort, but the day that we went to the park, it was just a long day in the sun, and, you know, you get hot and tired and whatever. And we got back, and, Liz, I don't know if I'm going to put the video on. I don't know. I got to figure out if I'm going to do that or not, or how I'm going to do that. So we got back to the hotel. We're starting to walk down this big long hallway to get to our room. And Liz stopped and turned around and she said, oh, what was it? She said, I had fun and I'm very thankful for everything, but I'm done and I'm going to my room. And it was perfect because it's hotter than 80. I don't know, but it was humid. I didn't pay attention to the weather, or I mean to the temperature. I don't know what it was. It was funny though. Todd said something too. They had so many workers around and they work so hard. Oh, I forgot to tell you one of our favorite things. So Todd, I'll tell you in a sec. So Todd said to somebody, like, aren't you hot? You're wearing these long shirts or whatever. Oh yeah, we have some good stories. So Todd asked, aren't you hot? And, they're like, no, this is our cool season. We're like, whoa, oh my goodness. Yes, we have a couple really good stories. It seems like both of them are about Todd. Well, there's one I was thinking about this morning that's about me, and it's embarrassing, and it's as Liz said, it was ridiculous. Like this person obviously wasn't working for tips or didn't care about his job or something. It was funny. But before I forget, I'll tell you it. But before I forget, so I told you about the steakhouse, what do you call it? Starts with a B, Brazilian steakhouse. So I told you about that. But one of our favorites that we had several times, like almost every morning for breakfast, and we had it the first night at the welcome party, was the restaurant that we went to. It was mostly a buffet, but they had somebody making omelets and they had somebody making tortillas and quesadillas. And it was amazing. She was just sitting there rolling her ball and putting in the tortilla press and was shredding some Oaxacan cheese, and she'd put that on the grill thing, whatever you call that thing that she was cooking on. And then had the tortilla on it and scooped in whatever meat you wanted. You had chicken or pork or whatever. And we had those we went to the same place for breakfast every morning, and we had those every morning, and they were just so good. Except for my last morning. I think Friday, because we didn't eat breakfast there Saturday. We left, we were on the bus at 5:45. My last morning, I'm like, you know what? I just need American food. I had just plain eggs and toast and had a waffle and some syrup, and anyway, it was done. I needed not Mexican food that morning. Okay, so my story, Tyler was not present for this, but Liz was, and she pointed out, I remember hearing it, but it didn't hit me what it was. So part of the park that we went to, the water park, had a lazy river. And it was really lazy as far as like it took 2 hours to go down to a certain point, except Todd worked hard and was trying to keep track of me and was guiding me and was if you wanted to move anywhere, you had to do your own moving. Anyway, so when I went to get in the tubes were half tubes. So like one half was the normal tube, and then there was a seat that took up the front part of it, just a flat seat. It was not inflated at all. And so I went to sit down in the tube, and I just completely flipped over and in the water. I was too heavy for that thing. I couldn't do it. And so they're like, here, you can have a double tube that was for like 2 people or a kid, a dad and a kid or whatever, and you can have this yourself. And it was not comfortable going down it at all. But the funniest part about it was, and I didn't even catch it, and I may have been mad. I mean, I was embarrassed, of course. But I may have been mad if it actually would have hit me. But was I laughing as I flipped? No, I don't think so. I fortunately I had a life jacket on. I'm probably buoyant anyway, but you know, I had a life jacket on, so that helped me. But no, I was just worried about like trying to get on the thing right. So Liz said that one of the guys that was helping us get into our tubes, he started singing the Titanic song. Not good. Anyway, so then I got my own tube and yeah, not quite embarrassing. But anyway, Liz is like, guess he doesn't really care about his job. So then Liz somehow was able to stay back by me, and Todd got way up there. So then he's trying to like wait for us and whatever. And it was all bottlenecked right there. Anyway, it was crazy. That would be me. Yeah, it was me. I was down in the water, and it was funny. You don't really think about this because like you're doing things that you've done at home. Like I've gone tubing at home, not in a long time. We had a horrible experience up north on one of the rivers. I've not tubed since then. The kids were pretty little. But anyway, so we're in there. And you go under, and it's salt water. You forget that it's salt water. We're not on the lake or a river or whatever. Anyway, so, all you people would have flipped, huh? So, the funniest story, I think many lazy rivers have regular inner tubes, and they're fun. Yes, we did have fun, but Todd was done by the time we got to the end because he was worrying about keeping me in line and worrying about Liz. Liz just wanted to relax in the lazy river, and she kept needing to catch up because, you know, we were being protective and whatever, and she wore this hat that she was adorable in. She said she hates hats or thinks she looks bad in them, but she was so cute in this hat. But anyway, so yeah, so we had fun. So here's my favorite funny story. I have another one. I'm not sure you'll be able to get it because it's not in person and I can't show you. But so this happened when we first get into Cancun, and we were talking about it again. Somebody brought it up. Thanks, Marcia. Thanks for joining me. Sorry, I do have a project to show you. I planned one project. We were in the airport leaving, and somebody brought it up again. And when I was talking about the story, I was crying, laughing so hard again. It would just... I wasn't laughing that hard when it first happened, but just thinking about it, it's just hilarious. So, okay, so Stampin' Up! Had sent us an email about when you get to Cancun, customs is going to be really busy and spread out and whatever. If you go way over to the left, they have like automated things where you just scan your passport and that ends up taking a picture of you at a different point. Rather than going through a great big whole line, it was a much shorter line. So it was great. So we got to the thing. You had to scan your passport down on the machine. And then this glass door gate opened, so then you could go to the next step. Sort of like, you know how when banks have like you can get in one section and then they hold you there and then you get in the next section or something like that. So the next section, we'd all been watching people. Liz said there was a video going. I did not see a video. She was watching the instructional video on what to do. But you're watching the people in front of you do this, so I don't know what Todd's deal was. But so you get to the next section where it needs to take your picture, and there's a circle mat on the floor, like a sticker sort of thing, that has two, I'll say footprints, two shapes of feet, shoed feet, on the circle. But it's turned like this, and there's a camera right there, okay? So we all go through, we stand like this, look at the camera. You have to wait for a little bit to take your picture. And then once it takes your picture, you get the green light and the door opens and you can go through. Well, first of all, to give him the benefit of the doubt, I do think that his machine was struggling a little bit. I don't know if he went through any of the ones that we did, but Todd put his passport down and it hesitated or whatever. It took a minute before it worked. And then so it gets in, he goes to the next part. And instead of standing like this, facing the camera, he's standing like this and looking over at the camera like this. And we're like, no, you gotta look at the camera. And he's like, I am. Oh my goodness, he cracks me up. Like, no, look at the camera. I am. Oh my goodness. So he ended up having to go through, they had to go around the machine and go actually to somebody and get a stamp on his passport and whatever, which that actually, Tyler and Liz were disappointed that they didn't get a stamp on their passport because they just went through the automated. But she probably, Liz specifically, probably could have just gone over and said, hey, can you stamp mine too? But anyway, it was too funny. When I was telling the story again and trying to explain to Todd his craziness, I was just crying. It was, I couldn't breathe. It was just too funny. He's just such a goofy man and I love him. Okay. So if you have more questions, you can ask me, but for now, I think I'm going to be done. It's over a half hour. I've been just gabbing at you. But before I'm done with this, thank you so much for your support and helping me get to the trip. It was an amazing trip. I know. Oh, man. Thank you very much for helping us get there. It was fabulous. Yes, thank you, Jennifer. Okay, so I'm going to show you. I planned just we did have fun and funny times. It was hilarious. There's another one that Todd brought to our attention later. Maybe I'll tell you at the end, but I'm going to get on with my project right now first, or else I'll tell you in my blog. I'm not sure which. So I planned a simple project today, because I didn't want to put tons of thought into it. Thank you, Jamie. And I just wanted to show you some gorgeous things. So, excuse me, I'm going to use Thoughtful Wishes. And here is the stamp set. And here are the dies. So lots of like flora and plants and I don't know. Anyway, this is the bundle. And the designer paper is amazing. And I'm going to show you this when I put it down. But so I don't forget, it is the best. And we don't get nearly enough time of it, Kathy. But we had so much fun. I don't want to forget to show you this. This is one of the most amazing gifts that we got. So I'm going to show you one more gift before I show you the gorgeous designer paper that I'm going to use. So, but I want to show you when I put it down. So I need my magic wand. On backwards, you put you down. And here we go. Okay. So, I gotta make sure I have this right. So, first of all, it was in a box with a really beautiful ribbon on it, or very colorful ribbon, very much like the resort's colors and whatever. And so we got this. So it's a binder. And at first I was like, oh, that's cool. We can do our pictures. But look at what they did. They completely filled all these pages with design. So like we have room to do our journaling here, or put in a little picture, or pull one of these out and put a picture in. They completely filled this book so that all we have to do is slide pictures in and add some journaling if that's what we want to do. This is just such a cool thing. Here's one that has 4 little spots. Obviously we can turn them, mix and match. You can put some of these pages in the front if we prefer. I love this. This is so cool. Oh, and here's just some blank ones. And then we also they also had stickers made. So like if you want to add more detail, you can. Isn't this cool? I just love that. So this was our last gift that we got. It was, we got it on Friday. Just such a cool thing. I love it so much. So like when you do stuff like this, like you might have a picture that's just this small that you could put here, or if it's completely this big, you could take it out, or you could leave it in, and then maybe there's something, maybe you want this side of it showing. Yes, this is amazing. I love it. So speaking of Scrapbooker, May 1 began when all of the Close to My Heart people could start selling. So we had about, oh, I forgot how many. Seems like it was around 3,000 Close to My Heart makers. Hi, Mario. If you can believe it, I am just now starting to stamp. I've been talking about the trip all this time, and thank you. So I'm doing this stamp set and the dies, and now I'm showing this designer paper that I'm going to be using. So the designer paper is called Thoughtful Journey, and I love these with these beautiful scenes on them, and I didn't go through and separate them. I'm just gonna turn them so you can see front and back of all these. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I just love these. They're sort of, I love that there's sort of a scene there. But there's also like, this is very, is this considered impressionistic? Like it's sort of there, but it's not. This one, I feel like it's there. This one's there for sure. Like you see the grass and stuff like that. I just love the colors. I love, this is gorgeous. Just a designer paper. They're just so pretty. And these blues are so pretty. So the colors, I'll have to tell you what colors these are once I get to the back. This looks like boho blue to me. Makes me happy. So boho blue is one of the newest in colors. Wait, is it newest? No, not newest. It's last year's in colors, but the one that didn't. I know our DSP is amazing. Does everybody know what DSP stands for? Designer Series Paper. We use that term all the time. This is just so cool. Okay, so this is the last one, but I gotta show you the back. Oh yay, that's cool. Okay. Okay, so the colors in this are Blackberry Bliss, Boho Blue, Cajun Craze, Calypso Coral, Lost Lagoon, Misty Moonlight, Mossy Meadow, Peach Pie, Petunia Pop, Pool Party, Pretty Peacock, and Wild Wheat. There are lots of colors in this. Gorgeous. And I love that it's 6x6. That always, yes, I love this. The paper is the mom. Okay, so what I first want to do before I get everything in the way is I'm going to use black cardstock, and I'm using adhesive sheets. Are you guys familiar with adhesive sheets? They are amazing. So they come 6 inches by 12 inches. There's lines for peeling the backing off at 2 inches each, just the long way. So you cut it to whatever size that you need, and you put it on the back of your cardstock before you run it through with your die. So I'm going to use this die. Then once you run it through, then it already has an adhesive on the back so that you don't have to try to put glue on a tiny little area. I love the 6x6 size. You don't have to put glue on a tiny little area. You already have all the glue that you need for your project. Sorry, I'm shaking the table. All right, I'll get this out of the way. Okay, oops. Last time I actually had to use my take your pick tool to pop it out, but this one had a part that wanted to come out already. Okay, so I have this fine little detail, and I already have adhesive on the back. I just have to peel this backing off so I can put it where I want it. Okay, so I'm going to get this out of the way, and I need to find my pieces. So I decided to go rogue, we're going to say. And I chose colors that aren't my normal colors. I didn't go with purples. I chose this Cajun Craze and this part of this design paper. So what I want to do is I'm going to take Cajun Craze, and I knew Dot would like me going rogue. I forgot to ask, is Carson watching or is he napping? Hi, Jamie. Can you believe I'm just starting stamping? I've been gabbing. So I'm using Cajun Craze, and I'm just wanting to add some. I'm using this stamp to add some flowers. I probably don't really need it across the bottom, but I'm still going to do it all the way across, even though it's only going to show for part of it. All right. Napping. Cool. All right. So I want to put this on here. So I have my flowers here. I have this is 3 by 5.5, I think. So half of the sheet of the designer paper. And I need my mat. I forgot how to stamp. I need my silicone mat. And I got my Oops, start on the mat. It's helpful. There we go. I'll have to go back and watch the gab. I want to hear anything you shared about your trip. Thanks. It was so much fun, so amazing. So it was funny. We got back Saturday night pretty late. Well, I mean, relatively speaking. And we all went to bed, and first we got pictures of, I showed you pictures of the animals when they were packing, the kids were packing, and then we got pictures of the animals being glad that their parents were home. It was kind of funny. So Liz has 3 cats at her house. One of them is hers. One of them is Charlie's, her roommate, and one of them they share. Well, Liz's Peter, his picture is pretty funny. He's got angry ears. He did not like the way that she smelled when she got back. And so he was just being sort of standoffish. You make life better. I like this. So he didn't want to have anything to do with her. And then the other cat, leaving my animals on vacation is so hard. Yeah, exactly. The other cat, that's Charlie's, required, what did she say? Required, what did she call it? It was, so these are new gems. Adhesive backed pearl trio. That's part of this suite. She required butt spanks and cuddles, like baby cuddles. It was pretty funny. Tyler's Walter was just worn out, but Jane's sister is the best babysitter. Oh, well, that's good. All right, so I'm going to take some of these. I need this one that's being annoying. I was going to put it in a line, but I don't really think I want a line. We're going to put it all over. He was just worn out. I think I'm going to like it in a line better. Thank you. It is pretty. I feel like I like it here. Otherwise, it looks like it's missing something. That's better. I like that better. There it is. That's all I got for you. So Walter was just, Tyler said that he was just all done. He was all worn out, but so needy. And then the next morning, all right, so I'm going to put you guys up again. Have to put you backwards on the upside down you. And here we are. So, so here it is. Aren't these colors just so pretty? I love it. Thank you. I'm glad that you love it too. So then in the morning, I'm like, I'm missing my bracelet. Where's the fresh orange juice? Oh, because we had fresh squeezed orange juice every morning when we went to breakfast. And then the kids started in with, well, Tyler had all 3 dogs on the bed with him while he was cuddling and relaxing with them. And then Liz said, I took a picture of Peter again. His angry ears were gone. He was all better now, and he wanted snuggles. And Liz said that she tried to ask her server for some orange juice, and he just stared at her. And then she said, and this staff, and it was the female cat, Tiggy, that wanted cuddles the day before. And this staff member keeps trying to steal food from my plate. Just not the same as the resort. So we were all being spoiled. I still feel like I have my bracelet on, but part of it is that I have a bend right there where my bracelet was. I don't know, but it was on for a nice long week. It was good. So things to tell you besides my trip. First of all, there's a deal going on. Starter kit special. Can you believe you get all the stuff? $82 value. There's an assortment of cardstock, all 5 new in color ink pads, the new in color designer paper stack 6x6, and all of the Stampin' Up markers and the new in colors. These come with your starter kit. So you pay $99 plus tax, no shipping, and you get $125 of product that you get to choose, plus all this stuff. So that's only for this month. It's a great time to join my team. Also, you could come to our team retreat that's going to be the beginning of June. We're having a weekend retreat. I'm so excited. So let me know if you have questions about that. It's an awesome deal. And besides getting all this stuff, you get discounts on your orders going forward. So it's pretty cool. So another thing that happened is registration opened Monday for our regular retreat, our one-day crafting retreat on June 29. So registration is open, so don't miss out on that. Does anybody have any questions before I go? I can't think of more things that I need to share. It's an amazing deal. I've had 4 customers take it already. Awesome. Yay, good for you. It is an amazing deal. So it's an awesome deal. You don't have to do classes. You don't have to continue, but obviously you get great deals going forward also. And you get the pre-order options as a demonstrator. You get all the benefits of being a demonstrator that are available to everybody. So it is an awesome deal. All right, one last story. So I told you I wasn't sure if I was going to tell you now or tell you, just put it in my blog or whatever. So one of the nights, I think it was the night after we had gone to the water park that day, we went to the pool. They had an amazing infinity pool. I've never been in one. It was so cool. And an awesome time to go was at night. They closed it at 8 o'clock, but a lot of people were gone after supper time. And so it was nice to have a cool place to go after a hot day. And, the sun wasn't down on you even while you're in the water. And so we were hanging out there that night after our long day, and we were getting out, and it was really weird. So on the end of the pool opposite the infinity side, there were steps down into the pool. I'd say maybe 6. So the steps were 2 feet maybe long. Is that right? So I would take probably 2 steps to get to the next one. Step down and then 1 more step. And then it was the width of the pool, but not quite. It was, I don't know why there was a gap. I don't know why it just didn't go all the way to the edge of the pool, but it didn't. I don't know if they couldn't, I don't know why. But during the day, you can see the gap, and I did not like the gap at all. I was not stable enough to feel like I could go from the step up to the normal height of where all the lawn chairs, chaise lounges and whatever are. I didn't do that. So every time I got out, I went all the way up the stairs and around, and then I had to make a candy cane loop sort of thing to get to if we had chairs over there. Well, that night, Todd was getting out, and he didn't have a problem with that low gap. I wasn't about to do it. He stepped down and he went to step, and I don't know which way did it, but he slipped and he scraped his shin completely. It like looks really bad. Big bruise and big scrape, and like he couldn't go in the pool the next day because it was just, I mean, it probably wouldn't have felt good, but also I'm like, they're not going to want you in the pool. So he just stayed out. Anyway, once he slipped, he was just like, he was trying to, it hurt so bad, and he was like angry and like, I'm not going to let this ruin my trip. But also he was glad that it wasn't me that did it, or Tyler or Liz, but he was just now laying on the steps in the pool, like, it just hurt so bad. And at some point, I did not hear this. Todd told us a couple days later that Liz offered some unintended comedy that we can laugh about now, but it wasn't funny at the time. And she wasn't trying to be funny. She was trying to be compassionate and supportive in some way. So he's in the middle of doing this, and at some point Liz said, and I completely missed this, she goes, well, if it makes you feel any better, I heard people gasping. I heard gasps. So Todd's like, yeah, good, thanks. That makes me feel better that people gasped. They felt my pain. Anyway, he was a trooper, and it still looks horrible, but we had a laugh out of it later. Yeah, it was a bad ouch. So anyway, we had a wonderful time. It was so good. I'm so glad we were able to bring the kids also. So in case you didn't know, so Stampin' Up, I told you at the beginning, and I'll tell you now again, less than 1% of all demonstrators earn the trip. So I'm very thankful to be part of that group. It's amazing. And it's amazing to see friends that you see every time on the trip, or meet new friends or that sort of thing. But Stampin' Up pays for me and one guest. So they didn't pay for Tyler and Liz. Part of this trip had to do with, for them, an inheritance. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. It's not huge, but it's not small. And I wanted to do something significant with it. And so we planned to take a family trip with the money from when my mom passed. So this was how Tyler and Liz got to go. I mean, we paid more than what the inheritance was to have them come, but so they could be all involved in everything. And it was just really cool. We had a really good time. Yes, it was amazing. I don't know if I had told you or not, but this was Liz's first time out of the country. First time we flew first class. It's far too uncomfortable in those seats for Tyler and I. It's crazy. So it was our first time in first class, first time out of the country, first time at an all-inclusive resort. So she was just all about her firsts, and it was pretty cool. And I was thankful that she was in first class, because I had told you at the beginning that we had a delay, or we didn't. Liz had a delay, and we drove by her plane as we're on our way taxiing out. And I'm like, well, at least I know that they're going to feed her snacks and beverage. Did you feel safe the whole time? Yeah. Oh, that was a crazy thing too. So the day that no, this is a different day. So we did do one excursion, I'll call it, that was not part of the resort. The day that we went to the water park was part of the resort. But we did a catamaran sunset tour outside of, it had nothing to do with the resort. And they came and picked us up, and we went in, when we got there, they were hard sell. There was a shop that they wanted us to go in, and we almost bought something there. We found an ornament that we liked that we almost bought there, but our Discover was not working well down there. It was their problem because Discover wasn't even showing there being charges that were declined. But anyway, with them, I could see like they wanted to wheel and deal sort of thing. So unfortunately, we didn't spend much time there. But anyway, we went on the sunset tour, which ended up not being as wonderful as what we hoped because the seas were sort of rough. There were red flags out there all day for your travel tree. Yeah, exactly. Except it's just our whole Christmas tree we put on. I did find one, but we didn't end up getting it at that place. But it was amazing. So when I had communicated with the company, like just making sure when we're getting picked up and where, they said, "Can you tell us your room number? It will help us to be able to get into the resort." So I gave them the room number. So then when we went back, we had 3 different gates that we had to go through to get back in. The first gate, the driver's telling them, "Okay, I have 4 people. They're going to Extra Mexico." And gave the room numbers. So while the driver's talking to one person, security person, the other security person comes around, opens the van door and says, "Can I see your bracelets?" So we're all like, here they are. So like they're checking to make sure, yes, we should be able to go in. And then I don't know what they did. There were 2 more gates that he had to talk to, and these here are room numbers, 4 people. So yeah, it was totally secure at this resort. It was kind of cool to see that it was that secure. So anyway, so yes, we felt safe the whole time. So in the airport, we were just told, and we practiced, just when you get there, we already had a ride, obviously. Stampin' Up / Extraret was providing transportation, but there's so many people they wanted to come and give us a ride, and you just like look forward, say no thank you, I'm all done. So yeah, we had no problems, but part of it was our whole, definitely being part of a big group was to our benefit. We appreciated that part. But if you as long as you plan the transportation ahead of time, you don't have to deal with the rest of the people around there, and if somebody there waiting for you or whatever. So that was good. Yeah, that's all I got. I'm sure there's more stories. Oh, we saw animals. We saw lizards or iguanas. I think they're considered iguanas. They were pretty big. Todd saw one monkey on the beach. I think Tyler saw one too, but then they couldn't get a picture because there was a kid that was being bratty around it, and I don't know if it scared the monkey away or just couldn't get around him. I don't know what. And I think the resort had, are they macaws or parrots? I'll show pictures eventually. But anyway, these beautiful bright red birds, we saw them every day. And there was also either a falcon or a hawk that they had. He had some sort of, it was like, I don't want to say a pet. It wasn't a pet, but it was something that was like a trainer or something had. So anyway, it was cool to see that. The water was gorgeous also. But we didn't actually swim, other than when we were at the water park. It was all the river thing was part of a lagoon sort of thing. But other than that, we didn't swim in the ocean or go to the beach. We just liked having the nice clean pool, or nice, not sandy pool anyway. Okay, so I think that's it. So thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you for your interest. Thank you for helping me get to the incentive trip. Oh, I should tell you the next incentive trip. Okay, so right now through October, we're working on a trip to the Grand Floridian, which is supposedly an amazing resort that's part of Disney. So that's what we're working on right now. What was announced at our general session, the first full day there, is the next trip. So for 2026 is an Alaskan cruise again. So that's amazing. So that is available to any demonstrator, but you got to work for it. So I have all my things are coming up now because I'm off Do Not Disturb. So anyway, that's the next trip. So that's amazing. So thank you so much for joining me and helping me and supporting me. Thanks, Marcia. I appreciate that. So have a wonderful day, and I will see you again next Wednesday, 10:30 a.m. Thanks. Bye.